Black history is not only a time to reflect on what African Americans have overcome and accomplished in the past, but a time to acknowledge and celebrate what they're doing for the community and across the nation right now. Hello, my name is Sydney Jolivet, and on this Black History Month segment, we are focusing on our West Texas community, how their work and contributions are making our community thrive, all the while inspiring others. We will first highlight Midland City Councilman Mr. John Norman. He is a key figure in the Midland community, not just in politics, but serving its citizens as well. Jason Freund has the story. Let's take a look.
Now that might look like Devin Hester, but believe it or not, that's a councilman here in the tall city. He went from running on the football field to running for office, and you may have seen District 2 City Councilman John Norman around town or at a city council meeting. Born and raised here in Midland, Norman has only recently entered the political arena. His predecessor John Love left midterm to run for senator. Now, Norman never considered going into politics.
I got quite a few calls saying that I should run, and I prayed about it and talked to my wife about it, and it was a decision that I made to go ahead and run because I was already doing what a city council person does, and that's being involved in the community.
But there's more to the man than just his city councilman status. Norman was an All-American free safety with Lee High School before playing college ball at Texas Tech. After college, he signed on with the Philadelphia Eagles, rubbing shoulders with guys like Donovan McNabb and Jeremiah Trotter. But he got cut in the final days of spring ball. Bounced around at the Arena League for about 7 years, but at some point, every player has to hang up the pads.
I think I knew it was time when I was in Lakeland, Florida. That was my last stint playing arena ball, and I just wasn't as fast as I used to be. I wasn't getting to the play as quickly as I used to do it.
But he did get back somewhere quickly, and that is back to his old stomping grounds, to a place he calls home.
The main reason for me coming back was to help my dad. I was one of those kids that when I left and went off to college, I was like, man, I'll never come back to Midland. Upon coming back, it was always that deep love for the place that you were born,
And he's done more than just help out his dad. Always an active member of his community, Norman has helped out the city's youth on the football field, both as a mentor and as a coach.
I think football teaches a lot of those characteristics about, some of the things that I teach our kids today, discipline, trust, respect, hard work, integrity, and accountability. Those are things that I take with me and that can be applied not only on the football field, but in life.
All of those lessons he learned on the field, he now applies in City Hall. And as the only African American sitting on the council, it means quite a lot as the calendar turns to February, the start of Black History Month.
The reality of it is Black history is American history. It's a part of American history. And so all of these things that our ancestors and people like that went through, I think it's a great thing to finally get to speak on those things and have it broadcasted out so that everyone can know about it,
In Midland, I'm Jason Freund, NewsWest 9.
And next, we look at Billy Johnson, who served over 20 years in Midland's justice courts and is now empowering the youth in the community. He serves as a coordinator for an alternative campus in Midland ISD. His mission, to make a difference in the lives of students. Tyler Dupnick shares his story.
If history has taught us anything,
I know the struggles of my parents, my grandparents.
It is everything.
As an African-American man, as a black man, knowing my history, and I always wanted to study my history. I didn't want somebody just to tell me about my history. I wanted to study it.
For Billy Johnson, studying history is also a tangible process.
When we say history, all of our history is not pleasant. And the things of the Edmund Pettus Bridge were certainly not pleasant. And so we've had the opportunity to visit the bridge twice and walk across that Edmund Pettus Bridge and have a Sunday morning prayer on that bridge in 2018.
That moment shared with family.
To have my children understand, you know what, Daddy's serious about that. So you know what, we need to understand this stuff so that we know about our people, we know about our culture. We won't have to repeat that stuff.
Johnson also learned
The late Congressman John Lewis,
from one of his inspirations.
in once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and one thing he talked about was service, and then we can all do something to give a little bit back. Y'all give back. Don't just, when you have an opportunity, don't just let it squander. You want to make a difference. You make a difference.
And making a difference is exactly what Johnson is doing.
MAP is the Middle and Alternative Program, the alternative campus, the disciplinary campus within MISD. All of these secondary campuses where they have discipline issues, the students are sent over there from 7th grade through graduation through 12th grade.
Johnson says their demographic is mostly Hispanic and Black.
A lot of the Black and the brown-skinned students, you know, we want them to see something positive. A lot of them are coming from where they're coming from. We want them to see a positive image, especially those young men, a positive male on that campus. That's important that we see, that they see what we're doing.
The goal is to get them back to their main campus.
The more challenging it is, the more excited I get, because I know there's opportunity here. Opportunity to do something to help somebody that they may not have otherwise gotten that help.
Opportunity that is mutually beneficial.
To see the smile on those faces, to have a parent call you, hey, thank you, Mr. Billy, thank you for this. I really appreciate this, I really appreciate that. And so just to have the opportunity to help. And that's a feeling that you just can't explain, that feeling.
Johnson's impact so far on students
Means I'm not done yet.
is anything but history.
I still enjoy working with kids, still trying to make a difference in our young people. So basically what it says to me at this point in my life, I'm not done yet. Still got a lot of fire and working with our young people, working with our families, so here I am.
Tyler Dupnick, NewsWest 9, Midland.
Heidi Taylor spends her day teaching music, all the while pursuing her dream as a recording artist. Christina Burgess takes us through Taylor's dream journey.
And be glad.
Heidi Taylor has been singing her entire life.
Singing for me started as a young child.
Her beautiful voice has echoed through church sanctuaries and in school auditoriums.
We had an actual family choir, and we would always host these summer events called the Youth Annual. I also joined a choir, even in elementary school. We had the choir, middle school, throughout high school.
Taylor's powerhouse vocals even landed her a degree.
And I ended up graduating from OC first with my associate's music, and then went on to UTPB.
And right before graduating, her life changed as she went from student to recording artist, releasing her first single called Jesus, You're the One.
'Cause Jesus, you're the one. I was like, that's my song? Like, and I don't want to be like, oh my God. Like, every time I hear my song, I'm like, oh my God, please turn it off. Not like it's just like, that's really me. Like, kind of unbelievable, but at the same time, it's like, that's me. Like, we did it. Like, God allowed me to do this. I was just so elated and overjoyed to finally birth that baby, so to speak, that had been in the works for so many years.
Years later, Taylor was able to record and release 2 more singles, Just Another Day and Had to Call. Songs she says are meant to inspire and uplift listeners.
They're kind of like life experience songs, and also relatable to hopefully encourage somebody else going through the same things. I just encourage people to listen to it and try to, be encouraged.
When not recording music, Taylor is a mom, wife, and full-time elementary school music teacher. But this gospel and R&B Christian singer tells me she will continue chasing her dreams as a singer and is ready to one day see her name in lights.
You know what? I would love to perform at the Grammys. I would love to perform at the Dove Awards, the Stellar Awards. I would love to do that. Even, you got to start somewhere. I'll be the opening act. I'll be the commercial act. I don't mind starting small, because I know from there, all you can go is up. So I'm ready for some stuff like that. When it comes, I want to be there, and I want to be able to, just go and encourage someone. Show them that even though you're from, what do they call, small town Odessa, you can do it. Yes.
In Odessa, Christina Burgess, NewsWest 9.
Now, the American dream can look different for everyone. For some, it may be owning a house or getting the education you've always wanted. And for a lot of others, it's becoming a business owner. Tiara Jackson is the owner of Tubby's Kitchen and Catering, and she is living her dream. Hunter Alcacer spoke with Tiara about her story and the history of Tubby's.
Just because you're the owner of a restaurant doesn't mean you always have to hang out in the office. For Tiara Jackson, she's right in the thick of things, whether it's a slow day or rush hour at her restaurant, Tubby's Kitchen and Catering in Midland. But it took a lot of work for her to get to this point.
When I was 16, we started working at Sonic. I became a manager at 18, and I worked there till I was 31, so I had a lot of food experience with people and customer service. After that, we would cook from home. We started selling fish plates at our house on Fridays. And then it just grew into us getting a food truck. Back in 2016, we upgraded in 2020 to another food truck. And then back in 2022, we got the call that we was able to get into a brick and mortar. So my husband and I both left our full-time jobs to open this restaurant.
She's not alone when it comes to running Tubby's. She and her husband work as a team to keep everything in order.
But we both run and operate Tubby's. It was a sacrifice leaving full-time jobs with benefits and things like that. So when you step out on your own with no loans, no grants, no help, it's a lot, but it's worth it.
Jackson says that she feels all her hard work has paid off based on the amount of support they get from the local community.
Community, loved ones, people we don't know, strangers, we have support coming from all over. Now we have support from like all over Texas, across the U.S. Like we want to make Tubby's a household name. And doing stuff in like the communities, or if we do sports events like that, it puts our name out there. And it feels great to know that people enjoy being happy eating our food.
But she doesn't cook and feed people just for business. Jackson says that Tubby's gets involved in giving back to the community whenever they can. She feels it's only natural to do so given her position in life.
I feel like opening Tubby's, I want to be able to make an imprint in the world and in my community. And I think being able to feed people in their stomachs and in their soul pretty much fulfills that. I just like to give out and help people. Like, you got to give, to be able to be blessed, you got to give more than you receive, and we enjoy giving.
Jackson is glad that she was able to make Tubby's possible and to add to the list of black-owned businesses in the area.
Being a black business owner and a black woman all together makes it a little bit more personal, having your own business and your own establishment in this community. There's not very many black-owned businesses here in Midland anymore, so to be able to serve people of all minorities all day, every day is a blessing.
I hope that these stories have inspired you in some way. It is imperative that we celebrate African American history in our community, not just this month, but year-round. By doing so, we are honoring individuals who have inspired change in America's past and serve as examples to the people who want to be a part of America, making it the best it is. Thank you for taking your time to watch this year's Black History segment. I'm Sydney Jolivet for NewsWest 9.